Hi, everybody. Welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. My name's Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you here on Channel 59.3 BPOD TV and Roku. Big news, the Bears have made three pretty significant moves, two of which would really help out Justin Fields. We'll break it all down in just a second. Before we get started, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. You can watch more of this show. Search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com. You can watch more shows from the VPOD TV network. Search up VPOD TV on YouTube. I want to start today with this. We all know Ryan Poles' plan at this point. It's pretty obvious, right? Low commitments, low money, big cap room for 2023, but not this year. The Bears have actually the second most dead cap in the NFL for 2022. No matter how they try to frame it, it is, in effect, a rebuild. It could be a retool for 1 year, but the Bears are cutting salary, cutting players, bringing in guys for 1 or 2 years who won't be on this team when they're winning, trying to build things up from the ground up with a new regime and a new GM. I don't blame Ryan Poles for any of that. It might be tough this year to watch Justin Fields throw to random wide receivers at times. They get sacked too much when the offensive line's trying to mesh all these new players. There will be growing pains, but over time, it's supposed to work. We'll have to see. What I do like, though, about Ryan Poles, if there's one thing that I could point out right away, is that he sticks to his principles. He really hasn't wavered or gone off-road with what he's trying to do. What he said he was going to do, he's done for the most part. There's been no detours or no, well, I'm doing this, but it's really going to be something else. No contradictions, nothing. It's been consistent from day one. So you kind of know what to expect when you hear about the Bears signing new free agents or looking into new players. It's probably not going to be Antonio Brown. They're probably not trading for Deebo Samuel, right? But the Bears made some moves last night. 2 new wide receivers and, yes, a new quarterback. We'll explain that one in a second, but we'll start with the wide receivers. Dante, Pettis, and Tajay have now been added to the roster. 1-year deals for both. Pettis, last year in New York, only 87 yards total. Pettis was a second-round wide receiving pick out of San Francisco in 2018, had 467 yards as a rookie, then really tailed off, was not used as much. And now in New York last year was used very little, if at all, only 10 catches total. As far as Sharp goes, Sharp a little bit more consistency in his performance. 522 yards his rookie year. Last year in Atlanta, only 230. His first and only year in Atlanta. And he's going to be 28 years old come opening day for the Bears this year. Here's the one thing, though, that makes these signings better than undrafted free agents. Lots of people tell me, hey, the Bears got 5 undrafted free agent wide receivers. They're going to be fine. They're helping out Justin Fields. No, they're not, but that's besides the point. The one difference between these two and the 5 they signed after the draft, these guys have NFL experience. At least they have NFL experience. They know what's going to be expected of them. If they don't perform, they're probably going to be cut. We may never see them suit up in a Bears uniform come game 1. But they will be a training camp. They'll have an opportunity to earn a spot, and they know the expectations of the NFL. I don't mind these signings at all. In fact, I would have rather encouraged Poles to do more of these than just sign undrafted free agents. Now, money could be an issue, but still. If you're going to tell me you're on a rebuild, then do something like this more often. Don't just target undrafted free agents because they're cheaper. They have no experience, and the majority of them are not going to go anywhere but the practice squad or just be cut and be in the street in a couple of months and be working a different job. These were 2 level-headed, decent signings. I have no problem with them. These guys won't be superstars. They might not even make the team. I mean, we don't know at this point. We don't know how they're going to fit in with Luke Getsy and Justin Fields, but I'd rather give them a shot knowing they have NFL experience. They know the expectations. They know the grind. And they know how to somewhat succeed in the NFL. I mean, they've been around for 3 or 4 years with different teams. They've stuck on. They've played in real games versus some undrafted free agent, some Division II or Division I, low-end Division I wide receiver who has no clue what the NFL is going to offer. Do these help Justin Fields? Probably not. But again, they help out more than undrafted free agents. These guys help out more than 5 undrafted free agents who have no NFL experience whatsoever and have no clue of what the expectations are going to be. These signings won't make big headlines. It's okay. They're not supposed to. These are not supposed to turn your head and think, oh, wow, the Bears are back. We know the plan. We know the expectations. We know the plan. Schedule's going to be coming out soon, too. We'll do a video on that. I mean, this team is probably going to be, again, 6-11, 7-10 this year. And there will be growing pains, profuse ones for Justin Fields, for the offensive line, wide receivers, defense. You drafted a rookie corner and a rookie safety who will probably start game one. No matter how talented they are, they're going to have problems. They're going to have growing pains. They're going to miss coverages, give up touchdowns. That's the nature of the game at this point if you're a rookie. And even if you're Justin Fields and you're a sophomore, you're pretty much a rookie. New coach, new offense, and not many weapons around you. It's not going to be pretty, but it could be a valuable learning experience for everybody involved. And for some of these guys who maybe stick on past the 1 year, if they stick on when this team's winning, they could look back and remember all the trials they had to go through to get there. Like Anthony Rizzo and the Cubs. Anthony Rizzo was with the Cubs in 2013, 2014. He had to deal with that rebuild. But yet they won the World Series. And he was a leader. So there could be valuable lessons learned for a lot of these players who end up sticking on when the Bears become competitive again. But these two signings are just that. They're signings. Nothing more, nothing less, really. It's not much you can make out of them. I will say, for Pettis, you pretty much classify him as a bust. Sorry, second round pick, and now he's putting up 87 yards in a season. And he's bounced around the NFL, and now he's going to be 27 years old. That's a bust. Let's just be frank about it. Maybe he rebuilds his career here, but kind of seems like a Kevin White situation to me. And then Sharp. Sharp actually had 3 respectable years in Tennessee. Is there WR3 or WR4? I mean, 500, 300, 300 yards, 3 straight years. Not horrible. Those are respectable numbers for a third or fourth wide receiver. Then he went to Minnesota, barely played in 2020, and then last year, 230 yards, started 7 games out of 17, played in 15 total. Maybe one of them will make it. And if I had to guess who it would be Sharp at this point, simply because he has more of a track record. He's actually put up respectable WR3 or WR4 numbers. The Bears could use a fourth wide receiver. Why not? We don't know what Velus Jones Jr. is going to be. Darnell Mooney is the clear number 1 for this team. And after him, it's pretty much a free-for-all. It's going to be training camp to decide who makes this roster, who's going to be 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5. So again, I like the move by Poles. He's giving Sharp and Pettis a flyer at this point. Hey, prove that you deserve to be here. It's going to be an open competition. We have a lot of spots open for this season. Prove you deserve it. And you will play if you do. I'm not opposed to these moves at all. These align exactly with what Ryan Poles is trying to do. But for those who think maybe this could be some significant, colossal move for Justin Fields, you're kind of mistaken. Who knows if they'll even make the team? But if I had to put my money on who would, it would be Sharp because of track record and experience. Those moves made sense, right? Bears needed some wide receiver help. They opened it up to a big competition. They make sense. There's no head scratching. There's no wondering what's the motive, why did it happen. Pretty straightforward. The other move they made, there are some questions. Nathan Peterman has been signed to a 1-year deal. He will be the QB3, the third-string quarterback now here with the Bears after the trade of Nick Foles. At this point, Nathan Peterman is pretty much a meme in the NFL, so everybody knows who he is. In Buffalo, he started over Josh Allen, believe it or not, before he posted a 0.0 passer rating. He started over Tyrod Taylor and threw 6 interceptions in 1 half. Now he's backed up Derek Carr for the past couple of years in Las Vegas. I don't know what he learned over there. Probably nothing. For some reason, John Gruden loved him too. That's why I brought him in. I don't know what you can like about Nathan Peterman. I don't even know what possesses him to have a job in the NFL today. It's like Mike Glennon. Why is Mike Glennon still employed? Why was Chase Daniel still employed? And this is also a head scratcher. When you post a 0 rating and you're starting over Josh Allen, yeah, that's a problem. Career record of 1-3. Career passer rating of 34. So his career passer rating is 34. 34. 3 touchdowns, 12 picks for his career. I don't know what Ryan Poles was thinking. He deserves some sort of criticism for this. Not that it means a lot. It's a third-string quarterback. But why you decide to even spend money on this is beyond me. Probably was insignificant. We don't know the contract number. I would say probably $1 million at most, even less, would be acceptable. But why even do it? Why even make the move? I mean, you have Trevor Simeon. Trevor Simeon, to this day, is one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Trevor Simeon has played in playoff games. He's put up a respectable record in the NFL. Last year, filled in for Jameis Winston and did very good with the Saints. One of the best backups in the NFL. And obviously, Justin Fields is your starter. I don't see the need to have another quarterback. Now, maybe Peterman plays on the practice squad all year. I don't know what they're going to do with him. They did, the Bears, get rid of Ryan Willis and let him go in a corresponding move. Okay. I don't get it. I guess to Peterman's credit, he does have some NFL playing experience, unlike Willis. He's actually played in real games. He was the starter over Tyrod Taylor and Josh Allen, which boggles my mind. Hey, Sean McDermott's a great defensive coach, but I don't know what possessed him to think, you know what, I'm going to put him in over Tyrod Taylor. Then I'm going to put him in over Josh Allen. If he ever gets fired, you'd have to think something like that's going to come up as a reason, maybe. Buffalo media should hold his feet to the fire, but I don't get this move. This one makes no sense. Nathan Peterman is a laughingstock. He's a meme around the NFL. And here's the weird part, too. He was never even good in college. He was never a top pick or top prospect in college. Wasn't well touted, wasn't talked about highly. There's just some guy, and he was taken, and then he somehow started. I can't explain his ascension, which is odd to me. I can't explain how he was even drafted, and then how he actually started games. Started 4 games in his career. Started over Tyrod Taylor and Josh Allen. It boggles my mind. And now the Bears are taking a chance on him. I don't know about that one. It's insignificant, so it won't make a difference. Because the only time we'll have to worry is if Fields and Simeon get hurt or something happens to them. So this shouldn't be a cause for concern, but it does make you wonder. Why? What does Ryan Poles see in Nathan Peterman enough to bring him in on a 1-year deal, make him the QB3, and actually pay him a real salary? I'd love to know. I wish I was in those meetings so I could know, because I don't see anything. I see a bunch of interceptions, crappy completion percentages, and one of the worst passer ratings I've ever seen for a sustained performance. And it's different if it's 5 passes in a game. You go 0 for 5, 1 interception. Yeah, your passer rating is probably going to be 0. But he started 4 games. His passer rating's at 34 for his career. I've never seen it that low for somebody who's actually played. I mean, he's put up some numbers in 4 games. You have to. So 34 after 4 games? I don't know. But I do like the wide receiving moves for the Bears. And I like the fact that Ryan Poles, per usual, on brand, is sticking to what he knows how to do. And is sticking to his plan that he made public, pretty much, to everybody. Wait it out, see how it plays out. And in the meantime, while you're trying to rebuild, find people who could come in for low money, low years, low commitments, and fill a need while you need them. The Bears have needs this year. They have holes all over their roster. They will get filled eventually by some random veterans or people like this who they sign, and that's fine. If they perform well, if you take a flyer on them and they turn out pretty good, you can keep them. And if not, it's fine. No harm, no foul. You're not trying to compete this year. So those moves make a lot of sense. And I'm happy that Ryan Poles is sticking to his plan for right now. But Nathan Peterman, that one's a head scratcher still, and I don't know how that's going to be justified or explained. Thanks for watching today's show here at VPOD TV, channel 59.3 in Roku. Really appreciate the time. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. To watch more of this show, search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com and tune in right here every night at 10:30 on VPOD TV. So long, everyone.